Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RAMP, Real Access Motivates Progress, live Wednesday night podcast. We are so thrilled that you decided to join us again each week for all of our incredible shows and all of the amazing resources we have here in Rhode Island and across the country. So we can't wait again to share our resource that we have with you tonight. They are not only a wonderful husband and wife team business, but they are also my dear friends. So welcome to the show, Linda and Bill from Home Healthsmith.
Thank you very
How
much.
are you guys tonight?
We're doing great. We're with you. It's great.
I am so glad that you guys are joining us tonight, and I can't wait to share everything that you guys do with our public tonight. So without further ado, Linda, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
So as you mentioned, we are a husband-wife team as obviously we're married and we can run a business, and we do it very successfully. We have been in business since 2012. And we have our business that is located in Portsmouth, Rhode Island at 207 High Point Avenue. We're in suite number 2. And we provide custom solutions that are going to, for unmet accessibility needs that are going to improve our customers' lives.
And Bill, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm the other half of Linda, and what I do, my key function in the company is to give us a vision of where we need to go and how we can better serve our clients in the disability community. I come from a family who's been in the elevator industry for since the 1950s, and elevators are really my sweet spot. I've got 42 years of experience in that industry, and just love getting out there and meeting people and seeing how we can help them.
You guys do so much for so many, and it was just a joy again to run into you at the Rhode Island Home Show. Tell everybody how that went and what that caused for your business.
We have been with Reba for many, many years. They are a great organization. We always have a fantastic booth at that home show. We show all accessibility products that people can come in, try, touch, and demo and feel. But I will say to you, after, with the COVID and not having that Reba Home Show for a couple of years, having it last year and this year was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, wonderful year. Just meeting many different people, meeting old clients, coming in to say hi. And this show was just unbelievable in terms of it was pre-COVID attendees. How's that?
Oh, it was so much fun because you guys bring so much equipment. Actually, one that I was playing on your elevator, because you bring it to the show, and I always like to play with my mechanical things. It went viral. Tell everybody a little bit about all the different features that you bring to the show each year.
So, for example, this year we actually have an elevator, as you mentioned. We have a working vertical platform lift. We had a ceiling lift. We had a stair lift. We also offer ramping. We had a ramp there. We also offer many different products from Standard. So these are products that people can use in their home to help them be safe in their home, whether it's getting up off of a toilet, getting off of a couch, many different things that they do offer in terms of that. But we had a great show, and we had a lot of different manufacturers that were with us this year, and offering a couple different elevator manufacturers as well. So it was a great show.
Yeah, I mean, every time I rolled by, you guys were completely busy. We got to squeeze in a couple of pictures, but it's nice to see how many people this actually affects. That gives it a testament to, we're at the Rhode Island Home Show, and you probably had one of the busiest booths all weekend because it affects so many different areas and so many different people, because everybody is getting older. Everybody is going to be using some kind of aid or be using these features. What do you say to people about thinking ahead and forward thinking?
Well, you bring up a very good point. about the busyness of the booth. What we find over and over and over is you'll have somebody completely ambulatory, perfectly, fine, walking into our booth and they'll go, I have an aunt, or I have an in-law, or I have somebody in our life that needs this or needs that. And it's amazing. They'll take our brochure, they'll take our business card, and it's like a year and a half later, we'll get this call. I saw you at the home show and we really need to do something now. And that's really gratifying that they remember us like that.
What people don't understand is by 2030, over half of Rhode Island's population is going to be 60 and older. And we guesstimate between 40 and 45% use some kind of mobility aid, help, need help in their bathroom or whatever at that point. So we're talking a good half of Rhode Island, between that and the disability community, that the services that you provide are so very important to so many. And people need to start thinking about this. So it's great to have you at the home show so people can see you, they can try out the products, and they can know, like you said, call you a year and a half later when they absolutely need it. But don't wait. Get some estimates, get some ideas now. So you're not, when you're going and having to make that difficult decision, to change something up, at least you know who to work with, what to do, and you are forward thinking and have some kind of idea of what's going on. Do you guys use the home modification grant that Rhode Island provides?
We do indeed. We love it. We pass it out to all of our clients, and also the one from Massachusetts. And I know that there's a couple that are in the works again. So it's because we not only service Rhode Island, we service Massachusetts, Connecticut, and we're now into Southern New Hampshire.
Well, just to let you know, Connecticut is starting the process of getting that home modification grant, thanks to Ramp's work. And
Yes.
we're also working on New Hampshire. So you'll be able to use some kind of this grant in every state, hopefully soon. But for those who may not know, tell everybody a little bit about the grant.
So in terms of that, what they do is there's a form that if somebody needs something, for example, a ramp or a stair lift, they will actually, through the grant process, they fill out this paperwork. We do the assessment, we provide all the information so that they can then send that into the state. And if it's passed and approved, and normally it is, I will say, they can get up to $4,000, which is 50% of the cost of that, of whatever project that they need or they're working on.
Yeah, it's a great, and actually, you might not have known this because it only happened in the last couple of weeks. That grant is now up to $4,500. So
I have not gotten that information,
project,
Tina. So thank you.
Yeah, if it's a $9,000 project, you can get $4,500 back. If it's a $6,000 project, you get $3,000 back. But
That's
the
awesome.
threshold is so high. I believe it's either 72 or 78,000 is the threshold limit, and it only goes on the person with disability. It doesn't do the entire household as a combined income. It's
Right.
on the person with disabilities income. So that's a very high threshold, especially since most of us are on SSDI and we don't
Right.
even get paid $1,000 a week, a
Right.
month. So pretty much everybody is accepted. So that's a great grant for everybody to know about and to use. Bill, tell everybody a little bit about, you were talking about this at the home show, but I want to have our viewers know, tell us a little bit about the apprentice program that you guys are working on.
We're really excited about this. It's taken us a few years to get this off the ground, but what we want to provide a pathway for our employees to improve themselves and to advance their careers. And a very key critical part of that pathway is that they get their license to install elevators. And it's a very difficult license to get. We have now gotten permission from the state of Massachusetts to implement a program. And we're also very close to that with the state of Rhode Island. And it's thousands of hours of classroom thousands of hours of on-the-job training. It's going to take about 3 years for these young men and women to complete the course. I will be the one who, I am the supervisor. I am the one who will be able to administer the educational component to them. And just really, really excited about it. The reaction from the people in our company has been over the moon. They're just so excited about this. And it elevates them because they're going to really have to step up their game. This is a rigorous, this is like a bachelor's degree in elevating. And there's testing, there's general knowledge, and they're really going to have to step up their game and demonstrate to us they want it.
Yeah, that's amazing that you guys are offering it. Now tell people how they can apply for that program and how they get into the program.
Well, you're an employee of Home Healthsmith, and you're going to have to demonstrate a level of expertise in field operations, in the actual installation of an elevator. This is a privilege. This program is a privilege, and it's only going to be extended to those who demonstrate that they appreciate the privilege and that they're willing to work hard, because this is going to be hard work. There's going to be a lot of classroom training and a lot of applying themselves to this.
But we're also working with some other companies. For example, 101 Mobility. We're working with them, so we're going to also have a few of their employees as well go through the classroom training, and then they'll also, so there's hours as Bill described in terms of classroom training, and then there's hours that's in the field training. So it's a combination. So when Bill says it's 3 to 4 years, this is a process for these guys. I mean, when I will say it took us over 2 years to get our elevator license just in the state of Connecticut. And it's taken us almost 3 years, I believe, just to get this apprenticeship program approved for the state of Massachusetts. And then
that is absolutely, yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah.
What is the lowest age that somebody could be an employee of yours and take this program? So is it for like kids that are right out of high school that are 18 and up, or are you looking for older adults?
So I'm going to jump in. So if there's somebody that is 18 years old, they're out of high school, they come to work for us, they're starting at the bottom and they're working up. So they're learning how to install grab bars. They're learning how to be a helper on a bunch of different sites and jobs. They're moving up to the point that they've now worked elevator projects, and they're pretty much just one-on-one with a team leader on that job. So then at that point, in terms of availability, in terms of spots in that apprenticeship program, and then what their interest level as well. It is a lot from, Bill mentioned it's like a bachelor. It's almost in a way like a PhD. Home Healthsmith is paying for these people to go through this schooling to get this done so that they can then better themselves, but now have their license, their elevator license that is out there in the state of Mass, and then they go through the state of Rhode Island as well.
That is incredible, because there are so many young people who don't want to go to college and want another path, and this is another path where they're actually helping out so many people along their path. This would be a great project to promote in some of the CTE programs around our state, and getting some of those students involved and hands-on. Maybe that's something we can work on together to bring it to their attention, to let them know that this could even be an option. But give everybody your website and how to apply for a job to work with you, and how can they contact you?
So they can reach us through our website is homehealthsmith.com. They can also send their information to info@homehealthsmith.com. They can call us directly at 401-293-0415 and say they're interested. We're always looking for technicians. I will tell you, it's been one of the most difficult things. I'm sure you've heard not only from us, but you've heard from other employers that are out there that are really searching for people that are interested in working and want to work. yes, we're in a field that we're helping other people. We do a lot of VA work. We do a lot of PACE work. You know, I mentioned earlier, our elevator projects are booming. I think we have over about 65 ongoing elevator projects. And so we're working with different construction companies as well for those elevator projects. So people that are interested, please have them search our site, go on and look. We have a gentleman that just celebrated, I want to say it's his 5-year anniversary, and he came to us from, what's that, New England Technical School, MTTI, and had come to us, and he was referred to us by Melanson Electric, so Ray Melanson, and he has been with us. That kid has been with us, and now it's like he's family, because he's, you know, he's got a baby now, and it's so cool to see that, how he's really grown up. And now that we have this apprenticeship program, he'll be able to do it. We have a son, Mike, from Bill's previous, and he's also, that's another thing, is that we want to move this company along. We want to get it so that we can now pass on Bill's knowledge and have him grow up through the company as well.
Yeah, it's so great. And Ray Melson, he's awesome. He's the one who did all the electricity at my house to put in my home generator. I believe he was referred to me by you in the first place. And he's been at, so this is what you're saying when you talk about Rhode Island being a small state and, you know, a small world. Everybody knows somebody, you know, and that's how this, you know, with everybody getting older and everybody needing these services, you know, by going by people that I recommend, and I highly recommend you guys to everybody, because you guys do such great work. You're family oriented. You know what it's like, you know what I mean? You live and breathe it every day, and you guys are just a gem to work with. So, you know, it's just funny how it's such a small world, and that we've all had a piece of the pie, you know, working together. But what are some of the upcoming things that you have going on at Home Healthsmith that you want people, like, where can they go and find you, or other than just your showroom? Like, do you have any events coming up?
We do. We're going to be at an upcoming VA event. We're actually going to be doing the Jamestown Senior Center event. We're going to be doing the Tiverton Health event. And we're going to be starting back, now that COVID's kind of started to kind of ease up a little bit. We're doing more networking in our center as well. So we have a lot of networking meetings that are coming in. But the VA is the next big one, I think, for us, because we do such, we do a lot of work with the VA. And then in terms of that, I'm trying to think, we'll
be attending a conference out in Idaho.
That's right.
We want to get into more bathroom modification work. We see a big demand for that. And there's a company in Idaho that's inviting us out to attend this conference to get to know their product line and how to install it and stuff, you know, things of that nature. So we're kind of excited about that.
Yeah, well, your ears will be ringing tomorrow, because I'm going to a senior event here at Wright's Farm tomorrow in Burrville, in my hometown. I'm actually rolling my wheelchair there, so we're hoping the rain holds off, because it's not far from my house. But we're good. So I'll be talking about you guys tomorrow. So your ears will be ringing. It's only me. It's all good. That's fantastic. You know, and I love that you're doing networking events and stuff like that. And once I get my van back, I'm hoping to be at some of them,
We'd love to
because,
have
you know, they're just so much fun. And I'll come down and play with all of your toys in the showroom, because, you know, that's always my favorite thing to do is, what's the latest gadget, Linda? What's the latest gadget that I can play with?
Well, you know, that's the beauty of our center, is that we have an accessible, we call it the accessible living suite. And it's really designed for someone to come in and see the front of the house and how you can enter in. There's a ramp, there's a vertical platform lift, there's a set of stairs. Going into the house, you now have a kitchen that was designed and put in, and it is an accessible kitchen by Rhode Island Kitchen and Bath. Wickford Appliance supplied all of the appliances. So you're able to see the bars where you can roll up and you can roll underneath that stove, and everything's there for you. You can open up the cabinets in a way and then roll underneath the sink. The sink is lower to be able to access it. It has the cabinets that can come down, there's manual, but they also do the electric cabinets that you can just bring them down to that counter level. There's so much out there that people are just not aware of. That just makes it easy. I mean, we have in our bathroom, you mentioned Mike Duggett with Home Mobility Pros. He actually put in the accessible bathroom in our showroom. Cardi's supplied all of the furniture, so that Cardi's bed that's there, the Nairobi lift bed lift that has the 3 motors that does the vertical as well as the head and the foot, as well as the lift chairs. So it's things that people can really use in their home, that they can come in, they can touch, try, feel, and demo. And obviously the biggest thing is the elevator. So we do have a working elevator that is there that you can ride up and down, and you can see some of the different options that are available with the working elevator and the stair lifts. I forgot to mention the stair lifts too. So.
Well, I will be down to play with all that, but just to show you what a small world is, Home Mobility Pros put in my bathroom here on my Habitat for Humanity house. They custom built my vanity so it fits my wheelchair. The Cardi's, I do the Cardi's commercials for all of, as I call them, the granny launchers, the recliners and the beds. I've worked with Cardi's on a lot of this stuff, and I work with you. So, you're not stepping on anybody's toes, and I recommend them all. They recommend them all. So you're not, going, I highly recommend you going into their showroom and playing with their stuff even before you think you need it, because eventually you're going to get down the road. At least you know what's out there. And by the time you need it, there might be something new. But go in and get yourself acquainted. Go to the showroom. Give everybody the address of the showroom and the hours so that they know when they can go down and play.
So the address is 207 High Point Avenue, suite number 2, and that's in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. So we're in the Portsmouth Business Park, right off of Route 24. So you can literally just kind of drive in and take a left, and you're into the street that gets you into our center. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, but we are also open by appointment. So if you're not able to come between those hours, give us a call. We can stay later, or we can come in on the weekend. I've met many, many clients there on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, so they so work with you, you know what I mean, to make all of your schedules. But I highly recommend that you going in, if your elderly parents or your parents are getting aging, bring them down, show them some of the equipment. It's not so scary to change your house over when you see it. And I'll tell you, accessibility now doesn't look like it did way back when. I mean, people come into my home and look at my bathroom and like, how is this an accessible bathroom? It doesn't look it. The bars are beautiful. The sink is just adjusted to me, but it looks like a very country sink. The way they set up my roll-in shower, like with a curtain, that you wouldn't even know the difference, just going by my room. And I can give you some pointers. One big thing is I took off closet doors. Like in my bathroom, where you have usually that little closet door, I put a spring rod with a beautiful country curtain, because the doors when you're in a wheelchair are always a pain in the butt. So I just removed, like I had slider doors in my bedroom. I removed the 2 slider doors and put a giant shower spring rod with a beautiful sunset shower curtain for my closet, and it's beautiful, and I get to change it with the season, and I don't have to worry about maneuvering doors or taking them out with my foot plate of my wheelchair, because usually I go through them. So I don't have that problem anymore.
Mhm.
So go down and see Linda and Bill at their showroom. Go check out what's out there. Bring your aging parents down there, or your children or younger folks who may have some mobility. Go see what's out there, because I'll tell you, I live this community. I work with this community, but every time I go, I find something new that I didn't know that makes my life easier. So every time I go down there, I'm like, okay, what's the latest gadget, Linda, or what do I need? And I usually always come home with something, because there's always something new. There's always something that will help you. So go and visit often, get quotes. It's free for an assessment in your own home, correct? Am I correct
That's
with that?
correct. That is correct.
It's a free assessment at your home. You have nothing to lose to find out if you're about ready to remodel your kitchen or remodel your bathroom. Why not remodel it accessible so that way you don't have to do it again? God forbid something happens. Give us your thoughts on that, Linda.
Well, it's interesting. We actually tell people a lot when I'm dealing with a lot of different clients, whether they're doing a stair lift or looking for that, could be that children of those aging parents, or even the parents themselves. And, they're looking for their final, what do we call it? Their final home. And, it's like, I always say, don't think how it is now, think 10 years down the road. If
Yep.
this is the home that you want to be your forever home, think about what you're going to need from that. And we always look at that home from the driveway in. So, if you're building a home, if you're looking to make changes, think of it as you pull into that driveway. Are there steps going into that home? Is there a way to make it so that if you're building a home, because we deal with a lot of new home builds, then make it so that it's a no-step entry. There's no steps, no thresholds so that you can go in. Make sure there's proper lighting there. Make sure there's even a bench or something that you can put things down on so that you're able to do it. Think of those lever door handles going in. Think of the wide hallways. If you're, we do a lot of elevators, as an example, on the coasts throughout the states, and we call it the upside down house. So the kitchen or the bedroom is on that second or that third level. So again, that elevator is going to get them so that they can be able to then, access all the different levels. So it's those things that we always tell people to think about. If you're looking to do it, you talked about closets. There are products for closets that are either manual or electric that can bring that rod down, right down to a wheelchair or to a walker, so that someone's not having to reach up, someone's not having to step up onto a stool. Think about that bathroom where you're able to make it large enough to maneuver through. It's those kinds of things that we're always suggesting to people that they think about as they maneuver through. And I know Bill was going to say something too.
Well, a lot of times the homeowner doesn't realize that some of this equipment that they want has long lead times, and that there's a design process that needs to be followed through in order to make sure it's going to work in a home. And that's really where we have a lot of expertise, is in the design build aspect of, we can walk into an existing home and a person says, well, I'd like to have an elevator. Okay, well, where do you want to put the elevator? Well, it won't work there. It won't work there. There's design criteria that makes this stuff work. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. And what they do is they get kind of blindsided when they have this idea, they want to do something, and they realize it's not going to work. And, there's ways around it, but it's an educational process for sure.
I mean, it's so beautiful. I mean, we just went through a pandemic. We saw what, going to assisted living or nursing homes look like. More people want to age in place. More people want to stay at home as long as absolutely possible. With all of the nursing homes and assisted livings closing, I just can't believe they're closing Charles Gate now. I just found out, with all of that closing, making sure that your home is ready. I mean, God forbid you were in a car accident, had a knee replacement, had a hip replacement, fall down, break an ankle, you're on a knee scooter or crutches. Having this accessibility will help in any accident. How many people wake up with sore backs or whatever, that, walking a ramp would be so much easier than, walking upstairs or whatever. There's so many reasons. And like I said, they can make it beautiful. The people come and see the ramps on my house, and they're like, it doesn't look, as they call it, handicapped. I said, no, it's my home, it's beautiful. We have the trek ramps at my home that go up the back and right down into my backyard, and it's absolutely beautiful. My deck is even with the house, so it's a no step deck. So I can roll right out from my back doors right out into my backyard. Get an assessment, go and check out the equipment, go get yourself familiarized in case, God forbid, somewhere down the road, you or a loved one need this. Give the address again, Linda, so people know where it is.
Sure, it's 207 High Point Avenue, Suite number 2, Portsmouth, Rhode Island. So we're in the Portsmouth Business Park. Our office number is 401-293-0415. And you can actually call now, leave a message, and we will get that message. So we always have people that are on call 24/7. So if there was something that was an emergency, then obviously we would react to that. But going back to your point, I always say to a lot of different clients, what we have and what's out there, it doesn't look institutional. It really looks like it fits into your home, and it can. And some of these items are affordable. There's so many things that people are not aware of that are out there that are affordable, and they can, carry out with them, or whether we can install them. And I think that's really the big thing that we try to push and just really inform people is, don't think now, think of the future. What may happen? And I've talked about those life-changing scenarios that happen. We've had them. We've had those emergency calls where they're just in a panic. And I think the other thing too, going back to what Bill was saying, is that in terms of existing homes and elevators, there are ways that you can actually install an exterior hoistway to a home that can fit into the look of that home. Prime example is we did a home in Newport, and it was on the historic district. And they had to go through, we were working with an architect and a builder, and we had to go through the historical society and get everything approved because it had to fit in. I think it was the third. So this home was over 100 years old, and that client wanted to stay in that home. And so what had to happen? That elevator was not going to fit in their existing home in the footprint. So it was an exterior hoistway that was built that fit into it. I have another story. There's a client that we worked with a few years ago who is on the water, and he wanted a vertical platform lift. And he had a company, a builder, build a hoistway that looked like a lighthouse.
Beautiful.
And it fit in with his home, and that vertical platform lift was installed inside that lighthouse hoistway. So, I mean, there are things that
if
can
you go
happen.
on their website, you can see it. It's absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. I absolutely, but it just matters that it doesn't make a difference. You can make it fit in. You can make it blend in. Excessive, as I always say, and even my events are called, accessibility is beautiful. It's just being inclusive, and it's being ready for, like I said, we're the only minority, we're the largest minority in this world, and we're the only minority that anybody can join at any time. It doesn't matter. Be ready for it. Embrace it. No one wants to go to a nursing home. Nobody wants to leave their home or go outside. Or, what if you have grandma or anything in a wheelchair and you want them to come and visit, or come to the birthday parties, or come to your home? If you're not thinking ahead, it can't. And the one big thing a lot of people don't realize, that adds to the value of your home.
Right.
With everybody aging, people, if you ever wanted to sell your home down the road, that is a huge plus. To have that accessibility, to have those vertical lifts, to have those elevators in your home is a huge selling point to your home, because with everybody aging, who wouldn't want to move into a home that's already all built for them? Like my home is fully wheelchair accessible, that if I ever decided to move to Tahiti at some point, somebody could move right into my home. Yeah, you can come with me, Linda.
Yeah.
We'll both move to Tahiti. They
So-
actually have a very accessible island that we can, go to all of the bungalows. That's why I said that. I've already looked into that. But somebody could move right into my home, and everything is fully accessible for them. So it's the thinking ahead that people need to realize. What am I missing, Linda and Bill? What haven't we talked about that we need to talk about that, we haven't discussed?
So one thing that just came to mind with what you were just saying is that, we've lived this both individually and as a couple. So, Bill's first wife had MS and passed from complications of MS. both my parents, we brought them to live with us. And because they just, my dad had gone into hospice and they just could not take care of themselves. We moved them up to Rhode Island when we were living in Rhode Island, from Virginia. And when my dad passed, he was in hospice. And, we used to always kind of joke that we had the safest home in the state with every single thing that anybody could ever need. And when we were looking to move elsewhere, we moved to Massachusetts, and one of the first homes we looked at, which we ended up buying because it had an accessible apartment, accessible living space that my mom could use. And it was, wheelchair accessible in terms of that. We were able to, she had a great living space. She had an accessible bathroom. She had a great space for her bedroom. And she was able to maneuver through here, unlike she would have been when we were living in Rhode Island. And it was finding that accessible space for us in our home. That's pretty much what grabbed us and said, we need this. And, we took care of her. And one of their promises, or one of their wishes, that was for me not to put them in a nursing home. And I was able to fulfill that wish. And in fact, on our website, there is a video of my mom in one of the videos that we did. We filmed there, and she was just able to maneuver and get through, whether she was she was able to walk at that point, and then maneuvered into a walker, and then unfortunately then to a wheelchair, and then she was bedbound. But we took care of her. And you talk about the whole COVID thing. Nobody wants to go to a nursing home. I mean, I love them, don't get me wrong. Even assisted livings, the cost of assisted livings now are just really, and for some people, not affordable. And I think those are things that people, as you talked about, need to think about in the future as they age, is what has to happen that will enable me to be able to stay in my home with the people that I love.
Yeah. And with all of the new ADUs, accessory dwelling units, that, they're passing all of the bills on right now, you can make all of these units fully accessible and be able to take care of people. So not only are you doing it for you and for your loved ones, but for, someday if you decide to sell or move, it's a bonus. There is no downside. There literally is no downside to any of this. Bill, what are we missing?
The other thing is, Linda's mentioned our personal experiences with disability, and we carry that into the home. We carry that into our client's situation. We get it. We understand what needs to happen to make things work, to make things better. And we also, over the years, have figured out what works and what doesn't. And if we're going to put a piece of equipment in your home, you have to know that it's the best the market has to offer. This has a direct effect on a person's quality of life, obviously. You can have a broken dishwasher, you can hand wash your dishes. That's not a problem. If the stair lift doesn't work, if the elevator doesn't work, that means somebody can't get from point A to point B, and that might be to a bedroom, a bathroom, get out of the house safely for a doctor's visit. So we take that very seriously, and we make sure that what we put in, we service what we sell. We have maintenance service plans that are very popular. And, our service, we guarantee service response within 24 hours. Linda had mentioned earlier, we have on-call technicians 24/7. So we may get a call from somebody at 9 o'clock at night. The stair lift won't work. My technicians have enough experience that typically they can walk that person through to find the problem. Check this, check that. Okay, this is good. This is not good. And if the equipment is not able to be repaired or made operable over the phone, well, then somebody's going out there the next day to find out why.
Yeah.
We offer night service.
You guys are incredible. You need to do that for wheelchair fixes, because that's the thing. We need 24/7. Cars have AAA. We need AAA for wheelchair users. But as a wheelchair user, I am very, very picky of who I promote and who I advocate for and who I stand behind. As Linda and Bob know, I put them through a rigorous thing. If they don't call my clients back, if they don't do the right thing, I don't use them anymore. I have never had that issue with Home Healthsmith. You guys have been nothing but amazing, and that's why I promote you all of the time. So they get a ramp approval. They're going to get a sticker as soon as we get them done that they are ramp approved. They are fully, like I said, they're not just a great company, but they've become over the years really good friends of mine because we use them so often. All right, here we go. Here is your 1 minute wrap up. Bill, we're going to start with you. Tell everybody, here is your last shout out why everybody should use Home Healthsmith.
You should use Home Healthsmith because we really care about what we do.
I like that. All right, Linda, here is your 1 minute wrap up of why everybody should use Home Healthsmith.
Clients should use Home Healthsmith because we provide customized solutions that are going to meet their needs. So that could be anything from a grab bar to an elevator. And we will come out, we'll do that home assessment. You can come in, you can look at what we offer in our accessibility showroom. Give us a call. You can call us at 401-293-0415 or visit us at 207 High Point Avenue, Suite number 2, Portsmouth, Rhode Island.
And here's my 1 minute wrap up of why you should use Home Healthsmith, because Bob and Linda are incredible. They know it, they use it, they will not recommend anything that they wouldn't trust for their own families to use. And they've used all of the equipment for their families, or they wouldn't recommend anything they wouldn't recommend for me to use because they know that I'm going to say it good or bad. So, it's always good. So definitely use Home Healthsmith. And they also have an amazing showroom for you to go out and see what is out there. And there are things that you wouldn't even realize are out there to make your life easier. So go down and visit them in Portsmouth. Maybe we'll run into each other while we're down there, but Home Healthsmith is the place to be, and you are in great hands when down there. Thank you both so much for taking the time tonight to talking to me and the audience and letting everybody know how amazing you both are. We'll be in touch soon, and as soon as I get my van back, I will be down there to play with some new toys.
Great. Love to see you.
Thank you, Tina.
And I would like to invite everybody back next Wednesday, same time, same channel. We will be talking to CareLink Rhode Island next Wednesday night. So next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, join us again to talk about CareLink Rhode Island. And as I always say, don't just sit there, make a difference. Have a great night, everybody.